Good evening, YouTube. So, I ended up being able to drop and hook at Pottsville, Pennsylvania. So after I left there, I picked a trailer up there at Pottsville, and I left there and drove about 20-25 miles to a Love's truck stop. Stopped there for probably about an hour, and then came on to where I'm picking the next load up, Lebanon, Pennsylvania. And so when I arrived at here at the shipper, they've got a large parking area, and so I was pulled forward and backed and up to where I was going to park at, and there was all this liquid kind of dripping off of my truck, and I'm, I don't know. I thought, well, I got a problem. Where's all this liquid coming from? And initially, I thought it was fuel. I looked, and because of the way it was it was all over the side of the passenger side of the trailer, all over the wheels on both the trailer and on the truck. They're at least on the back. It was all over the front of the trailer. Below the reefer unit, which led me to believe that some kind of liquid was blowing out of the truck. And so diesel fuel doesn't smell like diesel fuel anymore. It doesn't really have a smell, since they came out with a low sulfur diesel fuel a few years ago. It doesn't smell. You can't really smell it, or I can't anyway. It doesn't have much of an odor. So I thought I had, and it's not very oily, so I thought I had maybe a fuel leak. And so I sent the breakdown department a message, and they said, well, we'll send a wrecker and we'll take your truck to New Kingston. So in the meantime, I sat here a little longer, and then I got out there and looked again, and noticed that there was a bunch of stuff dripping off of the roof of the trailer. And so I kind of make a long story short. It's kind of hard to tell in the dark, but I started the truck motor up and looked, and I couldn't see where any kind of fuel was leaking or spraying out. And so in the meantime, I determined that it was just water. There must have been ice on the roof of the trailer leaking off. I've never had it quite do that so that it would leak on the front of the trailer, because it looked exactly like liquid coming off of the truck itself. And it's just weird, I guess, how it ended up melting, a strange melting pattern. Because there's been plenty of times where I've developed an actual leak, maybe like an oil leak or even a coolant leak, antifreeze, and it will spray all over the front of the trailer. And if you're pulling a reefer unit, it's underneath, it's underneath the reefer unit. So in this case, that's what it was doing. But so I don't know how that happened, because normally if you've got water or ice, snow or ice on the top of the trailer, and it's melting, it goes off of the back. It doesn't. It can't get on the front. So that was weird. But so I determined that's what it was, and I sent the breakdown department a message, and they canceled the wrecker and said, well, we're glad you're, in the meantime, I said, hey, I feel a little foolish, and they said, don't worry about it. Everything's fine. We're just happy that you're safe and the truck's okay, and so on and so forth. So weird. I've never had, like I say, I've never had the stuff melt off of the roof in this way, because normally it always follows the same pattern, and in this case it was weird because it wasn't even melting when I stopped at the Love's truck stop. And I was actually back there because I opened the back of the trailer up to, and I climbed up in there and cleaned a few pieces of wood out of the floor that was left in the floor from the prior load, and there was nothing leaking, nothing dripping. But in the meantime, once I got here to this place, I was leaving a big, huge amount of liquid dripping off of the truck. So, but it's just coming off of the roof, so it's kind of strange. But so anyway, that was the excitement for the night. So in any case, from Lebanon, Pennsylvania, I'll catch you later.